I recommend go watching it. First of all, when Charlamagne the God sits down with someone, personal one-on-one, there's really good interviews. And I'm glad that he spoke to Ab-Soul because Charlamagne the God really advocates for mental health awareness. And Ab-Soul has been going through a lot of mental health issues. And this is him talking about this specifically, literally attempting to kill himself. But then he looks at it in a different perspective. But then he also acknowledges the possibility of, obviously, it's suicide attempt because you literally, you know, listen to it here for those who haven't watched it yet.
If you will. And that was the only way I was going to be able to put that vape down, bro. So it wasn't even about, you know, ain't nobody going to rehab for a damn vape pen. You know what I'm saying? That shit expensive as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to rehab for it. But that was the only way I was going to be able to put that shit down, bro. I know that for
by attempting to complete suicide?
No, like just that, like I'm not gonna say attempting to suicide. I feel as though God sat my bitch ass down. You said what you had to say. It brought you down to size. It made you vulnerable enough. You're famous. You're Ab-Soul. Fuck all that, man. You get what I'm saying? You got what you needed to say. Now let's get back to it. Sit down and shut up. I lost my I ain't even got this is a flipper. You know what I'm saying? It's not even I ain't even got my implants yet. My jaws fucked up. Like I got a lot of work to do still. My whole leg is, I'm about 85%.
Got the fresh Timbs though. You got some fresh Timbs.
Reconstructed all the way to my pelvis, everything but my knee. If my knee would have, it doesn't even make sense that my knee wasn't affected. My femur, everything was affected except my knee. If my knee would have been affected, I might not be walking.
How tall?
I did not get any brain damage. What? I jumped off a freeway overpass, man. It was about 50 feet.
Wow.
I think a car broke my fall.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No brain damage. It just, this guy, like that was, all right, bro. Yeah. Now sit down and shut up. Take it all in, like, relax. You blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that my love, my family, like.
Charlamagne's eyes, his reaction is like, like this man really just said this. Because he said it multiple times in interviews that he wanted to have this specific conversation. He had multiple interviews, but this specific conversation, he wanted to have it with Charlamagne. So revealing the actual suicide attempt for the first time ever was with Charlamagne the God. And there we have it, man. A very, very sad situation. I'm so like proud and like respect the fuck out of TDE for somehow, some way keeping that under wraps.
Yeah.
Because we see tragic moments, you know, or just potential controversial moments happen all the time, right? I'm trying to think of one that was kept kind of under the wraps, wasn't addressed too much, was when Frank Ocean's brother died on a car accident. Condolences to him. I think it was like last year, and there was photos of, you know, Frank Ocean there, etc. They kept that very under hush. He never had to speak about it. That's a very personal thing. Another thing that happened was Isaiah Rashad with the leaking of the sex tape. So then that kind of forced him to come out about his sexuality and, you know, his pleasures, at whatever he wants to do, he does. And now we have this situation from the same camp as Isaiah Rashad, TDE, keeping it under wraps, though, where you almost lost an artist, literally, because of their own battles.
Yeah.
Ab-Soul literally jumping from a freeway overpass. That means that's a highway, right? The freeway, the highway, probably those highway bridges that like gets high, kind of intersect. But that's amazing how they kept that, you know, quiet, because imagine, God forbid, imagine we hear that. Like that news, like, or even not God forbid, but even that news as it is, TDE rapper from California, Ab-Soul, in a hospital for attempting suicide.
That'd be fucking wild.
Bro, people would be so sad and so like, what the heck? Yeah. And at the same time, you can tell like they're so genuine because they're not seeking clout. They could have potentially put it, all right, this is going to come out, guys, let's just put it out. Oh, will probably help promotion, like, okay. And in the future, people will be like, oh, the next album's got to be real shit. Then let's listen to it. But then he used the moment of the album to then reveal it. Yeah. The other way around, you know? It's like he lets the music become the actual manifestation of his, you know, his life. The art, you know, it's himself, and he went through it, so he has the right to share it. So prayers to Ab-Soul. We love you, brother. We met you a couple years ago out here in Rhode Island.
Yeah, man.
We really, really respect the fuck out of you, your artistry, You know, one of our favorite artists. I've always said that he's one of the best rappers to ever touch a mic. And then when I said it during the reaction, when he does do verses on those black hippie freestyle remixes, etc., he always had the best verse. Kendrick's Kendrick, but he would always have a verse that would kind of like be like, oh shit.
You gotta study it.
Bro, always. He always had like a better verse, a more interesting verse than everyone on TDE whenever they did a posse cut. And that's just a fact. You know, he just hasn't had a hit. J-Rock has hits now. Schoolboy Q always had hits. Kendrick Lamar always had hits. SZA always had hits. Isaiah Rashad, he's up and coming. You know, he probably does have a song. You can argue a couple of his songs are more popular than probably any Ab Soul song, like Ab Soul by himself.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. We haven't seen that with Ab Soul yet. But he's independent. He's the only independent artist on TDE. Every artist on TDE signed to a major deal. He's the only artist that's independent, is just managed by TDE. Special contract. No one's known that, and so he revealed it this time around with this rollout too.
Yeah.
So all the money from the old music is always been his 100%. That's why I guess he's maintained and been able to stay quiet for 6 years. You know, so God bless Ab Soul.
They gon' love me for my ambition.